The Freedmen's Bureau, officially the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands, emphasizing its establishment, mission, activities especially concerning family reunification, and overall historical significance. 1. Origins and purpose. Creation, established in March 1865 by the U.S. Congress and placed under the War Department, the Freedmen's Bureau was initially a temporary agency meant to last 1 year after the Civil War. It was later extended due to the enormous post-war needs. Leadership: Major General Oliver Otis Howard served as its first and only commissioner, overseeing its operations. Mandate: intended to help formerly enslaved people and poor Southern whites, to a lesser extent, transition from slavery to freedom. It provided relief and support in critical areas: food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, legal assistance, and education. 2. Organizational structure. Local offices: the Bureau established district, state, and local offices throughout the former Confederacy and a few border states. These field offices were often staffed by Union Army officers, civilian agents, and in some cases, African American assistants. 3. Services provided. 3.1. Employment and labor contracts. Negotiating contracts: Bureau agents helped freed people formalize labor contracts with landowners, often aimed at ensuring fair wages or shared profits. Sharecropping arrangements. Prevention of exploitation: the idea was to protect newly emancipated laborers from being cheated or coerced into arrangements mirroring slavery. 3.2. Education. Schools: the Freedmen's Bureau partnered with missionary societies and northern charities to build and fund schools for black children and adults, often working closely with local communities. Teacher support: they facilitated teacher placements, provided books, and offered physical space, for example, former military barracks or abandoned buildings for classrooms. 3.3. Legal aid and courts. Freedmen's courts: in many Southern communities, racist local courts refused to hear black testimony or treat black litigants fairly. The Bureau sometimes set up its own tribunals or intervened in legal disputes. Settlement of disputes: Bureau officials mediated cases ranging from unpaid wages to violent attacks against black citizens. 3.4. Basic necessities and healthcare. Rations and supplies: they distributed surplus Army rations, clothing, and sometimes tools. Medical care: Freedmen's hospitals were established in certain areas, providing basic health care and combating diseases like smallpox and cholera outbreaks. 4. Role in family reunification. 4.1. Record keeping and documentation. Marriage registers: under slavery, marriages were not legally recognized, so the Freedmen's Bureau helped legitimized couples by recording formal marriages and issuing certificates. Housing and relocation records: Bureau agents kept track of families' movements, labor arrangements, and settlements, often noting relationships and dependents. 4.2. Direct assistance. Locating relatives. Correspondence: agents received letters from individuals seeking lost family members. They would forward inquiries or write directly to other Bureau offices in different counties or states. Travel and investigations: in cases where the location of a lost spouse or child was thought to be known, some agents traveled to investigate or confirm details, facilitating face-to-face reunions when possible. 4.3. Providing a communication hub. Central place for mail: freed people lacking a stable address used Bureau offices as mailing addresses, ensuring that letters or responses to queries had a reachable destination. Official letters of inquiry: the Bureau's semi-official status could lend weight to search efforts. 5. Successes and challenges. 5.1. Achievements helped countless families. While official data is incomplete, historical accounts highlight many examples of mothers finding children, siblings reconnecting, and spouses uniting through the Bureau's efforts. 5.2. Obstacles and limitations. Underfunding and short timeline: the Bureau was chronically understaffed and underfunded. It faced political pushback, particularly from Southern white legislators intent on limiting black freedom. Violence and hostility: agents and freed people alike were targets of intimidation by groups like the Ku Klux Klan. This danger hampered the Bureau's work and sometimes forced offices to close or curtail activities. 6. Dissolution and legacy. 6.1. Closure. Phasing out: political opposition, particularly after the rise of Redeemer governments in the South and waning Northern interest in Reconstruction, led to the Bureau's closure in 1872, only 7 years after its inception. 6.2. Long-term impact. Vital records: Freedmen's Bureau documents remain a foundational source for African American family history research, offering insights into parentage, marital status, and movement that were rarely recorded elsewhere. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Oran Z.